What's up guys, Jason here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be comparing the sizes of the many Magnus creatures. Since there are too many creatures to compare in one chart, I have decided to do multiple charts and split the creatures into separate groups. This way here we can go more into depth on the certain creatures that belong in these categories in the ecosystem. As always, if you find yourself enjoying this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. But without further ado, let's get into the video. These are the size charts in comparing the Magnus creatures. First, let's take a look at the small theropods. Yes, I know, an Among Us character probably isn't the most realistic thing to compare sizes to, but it's what I'm working with for right now. So from left to right, we've got the Microtyrannus, both the male and female Minimasaurus, the Nanoraptor, the Debilitodon, the Dilophosaurus minoris, the Ovotrogon, the Camoraptor, the Melanicus, the Mortem minoris, and the Dilophosaurus supremus. These dinosaurs, or Magnosaurs if you will, fill the small theropods category. Other than the Microtyrannus, I have already showcased the other creatures in Spore, so if you want me to showcase the Microtyrannus in Spore, let me know in the comment section down below. For a lot of the creatures I made in this series, I wanted to make a lot of them look as true to their ancestor counterparts as possible, but add my own twist to them. And if you notice, we got two species of Dilophosaur, the Dilophosaurus minoris and the Dilophosaurus supremus. Minoris is supposed to be based on its Jurassic Park counterpart, while the supremus is meant to be based on its scientifically accurate counterpart. The Camoraptor is almost as large as its Jurassic Park counterpart, but not by much. But let me know what you think of the first chart in the comments section down below. But let's be honest for a moment. I'm starting to like this Among Us character. I might make him my avatar. That guy is basically me as an Among Us character. I'll post a picture of him on the community page later on to see if I can get some name suggestions from you guys, and maybe I'll make this into a regular character in my videos in the future. But we'll do that later. Right now, let's move on to the next chart. Up next we have the medium-sized theropods. Now these creatures are a little larger than the small theropods, but not as large as the large theropods. From left to right, these creatures are the Acryonyx, the Diablosaurus, the Komodosaurus, and the Ursasuchus. Now I'm pretty sure I've already showcased these four creatures in Spore at one point. But let's review them. Acryonyx is a descendant of Baryonyx, Diablosaurus is a descendant of Carnotaurus, Komodosaurus is a descendant of Allosaurus, and Ursasuchus is a descendant of Suchomimus. Now to this day, the Diablosaurus is probably the most popular Magnus creature to date. What I mean by that is, it's the video with the most views. That video holds nearly 6,000 views on YouTube. If this video can get that, that would be amazing. And notice the Ursasuchus looks different from the other theropods, how it stands more upright. This is because it acts like a bear to an extent. Plus its name does mean bear croc, so that actually makes sense. But yeah, let me know what you think of this chart down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next chart. Up next we have the large theropods, or the apex predator. That means they're the worst of the worst. From left to right, we've got the Pyrorex, the Camillocanthosaurus, the Cryotyrannus, the Deistyrannus, the Mortem supremus, and the Aquariosaurus. Now again, just like with the medium theropods, I've showcased every single large theropod to date. And in this chart we have another fan favorite, the Mortem supremus. And honestly, I don't blame you guys. So far, the Mortem supremus is my favorite Magnus creature, and I had a lot of fun creating him. And in the Mortem Supremus species profile, you can see that it was heavily inspired by the Dino Crisis Giga. But yeah, let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Moving on to the next group, we've got the Sauropods. So from left to right, we've got the Steniodon, the Geminosaurus, the Sauroplacidus, the Goliath Titan, and the Gigantus Maxima. Again, I'm pretty sure I showcased all 5 sauropods in a Spore video at one point. And as you notice, the Gigantus Maxima is actually heavily inspired by the Arctitanosaur. And to this day, I'm still not quite sure why I added fins on the Goliath Titan. I'm guessing it's because it might be able to swim, I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Next on our list are the Ceratopsians. For right now, we only have 3 of them. The Nanoceratops, the Pachyceratops, and the Octoceratops. Now, I know I showcased the Octoceratops, and I think I showcased the Pachyceratops, I'm not too sure, but I know I definitely didn't showcase the Nanoceratops. Let me know if you want me to showcase the Pachyceratops and Nanoceratops in the comment section down below. There's not too much to say about these guys, so let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below. But without further ado, let's move on to the next chart. Up next on the list, we have the armored dinosaurs. So from left to right, we have the Acanthiodracus, the Tranquillosaurus, the Pachygastrosaurus, the Exegiarmus, and the Thagostega. Now, I'm certain that I've showcased all of them in Spore, so I don't need to showcase them again, but let's go through an overview. Notice there are actually 3 species of Ankylosaur on this list, but only 2 species of Stegosaur. And the largest one of the group is definitely the Thagostega. But my favorite of the bunch, I think, is the Acanthiodracus because of how spiky and badass it looks. I also like the Pachygastrosaurus just for how odd looking it is. But yeah, let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Up next, we have the Hadrosaurs. There are only 3 for now, but there is a 4th one on the way. I can't tell you what it is, but what I can tell you is that it's going to be in gigantic proportions. What do you think that new Hadrosaur is going to be a descendant of? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. So as always, from left to right, we've got the Perfectosaura, the Dipliguanodon, and the Paracapricornus. Now for the Hadrosaurs and the Iguanodont, I wanted to make them look as unique looking as possible. I already showcased what all 3 of them look like in Spore, and basically I wanted to make the Hadrosaurs look unique from their ancestral counterparts. But let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next chart. Up next, we have the small herbivores. We only have 4 for now, which are the Macrosaurus, the Nanoceratops, which you already saw, the Dracodeus, and the Velocimimus. I've already showcased the Velocimimus and the Dracodeus. The Nanoceratops I have yet to showcase, I think. I'm not too sure, but it's been around for a while. And the Macrosaurus is fairly new. But yeah, let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's move on to the next one. And here we've got the last dinosaur for right now, the Mesolonyx. I wasn't too sure what category to put this in. I mean, technically it's a herbivore, but technically it's a theropod. So I just decided to give it its own group. Now, I've showcased the Mesolonyx in the past, but let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. But without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Up next, we have the small mammal group. This group from left to right includes the Canis calidus, the Pterodon, the Acelerodon, the Vengodon, the Armorpelta, the Ursus fortum, the Magnapithecus, the Robustocerus, and the Pygmybelodon. Now, I've pretty much showcased all of the small mammals on Magnus except for the Magnapithecus, I'm not too sure, and definitely the Pygmybelodon because it's fairly new. But let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Up next, we have the larger mammals. From left to right, this includes the Coelodonta prime, the Ultratherium, the Mastodon passivus, the Mammuthus furiosa, and the Titanotherium. Now with the mammals, I wanted to get really creative with these creatures, like make them look as tough and as badass as possible. Especially the Coelodonta prime, because I just love the woolly rhinoceros. And I'm pretty sure I've showcased every single one of these creatures in Spore at one point. I also have some exciting news. A new mammal will be making an appearance in Magnus at some point. But yeah, let me know what you think of this chart in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's move on to the next one. Up next, we have the birds. I know there aren't a lot, only 5, but don't worry, more are on the way. But so far from left to right, we have the Avum lux, the Magnus vulture, the Raptornis, the Celeriornis, and the Hophoornis. These magnificent birds, especially the Raptornis, are all proof that dinosaurs evolved into birds. Now so far, I've showcased the Avum lux, the Hophoornis, and the Raptornis. I haven't showcased the Celeriornis or the Magnus vulture yet because they're fairly new. But yeah, let me know what you think of these flying creatures in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next group. Speaking of flying creatures, our next group are the Pterosaurs. So far we have 6 different pterosaurs to date, and from left to right, they are the Tapodraculus, the Trimorphodon, the Pteroaudax, the Volontochirus, the Behemoquetzal, and the Goliodactyl. I've showcased the Pteroaudax, Trimorphodon, Tapodraculus, and Behemoquetzal in the past. The only ones I haven't showcased yet were the Volontochirus and the Goliodactyl, because they're fairly new. But yeah, let me know what you think of these pterosaurs in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next chart. Up next, we have the reptiles and amphibians. From left to right, this includes the Polytubera, the Coolosaurus, the Tetrametrodon, the Periculasuchus, the Molanops, the Supervenator, the Dracomamba, and the Ceratopsians. Now I know, technically the Tetrametrodon and the Molanops are synopsids, or mammal-like reptiles. And who knows, we might be seeing more Permian creatures in future Magnus videos. Now, I've pretty much showcased every single creature here except for the Coolosaurus and Polytubera. But yeah, let me know what you think of these creatures in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next group. Up next, we have the creatures that were native to the planet millions of years prior to the extinction, or at least the terrestrial ones anyway. From left to right, we've got the Avum lux and Magnus vulture, which you've already seen, the sky monkey, the three-humped camel, and the Brontodon. Now, the thing with native creatures is because they're fantasy, you can get as creative as you want with these creatures. I have a lot more freedom with native creatures than I do with descendants. Now let me know what you think of this size chart in the comment section down below, and without further ado, let's move on to the next group. Up next, we have the marine life. Sorry this chart looks more clustered than the others. I just figured since they're aquatic creatures I could scatter them a bit more. Within this oceanic pile, we've got the Krakenite, the Durham Poseidon, the Leviathan, the Sea Tiger, the Basilocetus, the Sea Goat, the Loch Prodigium, the Carcharodonus, the Colossosaurus, the Megacolon, and the Gigantocetus. I also acknowledge that the Durham Poseidon is hard to see, but if you look closely, you can see its head poking out between the Leviathan and the Sea Tiger. And for someone who doesn't typically create aquatic creatures, I think I did pretty good here. And I know for a fact I never showcased any of these creatures in a Spore video, but let me know if you want me to do a Spore video of these creatures in the comment section down below. Also, let me know what you think of this chart, and without further ado, let's move on to the next one. And last but not least, we have the hybrid monsters created by Hiram Lincoln. From left to right, we've got the Shinigami-oraptor, the Shinigami-osaurus, the Armus maximus, the Apex supremus, and the Shinigami-rex. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, the Shinigami-rex towers over both the Deus Tyrannus and Mortem Supremus. And in this pile, we do have another fan favorite, the Shinigami-osaurus. Now, fun fact about the Shinigami-osaurus, it's actually a creation that a friend of mine came up with. It's a cross between the Camoraptor and the Diablosaurus, and basically it's the true definition of evolution gone horribly wrong. Now, out of these hybrids, which one is your favorite? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, let me know if you want to see more hybrid monsters be created by Hiram Lincoln. And let me know what you think of this size chart in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions for these multiple charts. And that is going to have to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.